There's Marty. Hey, Marty. You ready to go for a walk, huh? Oh, okay. So, my brother-in-law. Here, I'll get to the start of the day today. My brother-in-law, he's a truck driver, and he lives between Texas and Mexico. He has a house on both sides of the border. All right, and his wife, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, they're a cute couple together. And they're both truck drivers, so we watch the daughter, and she goes to school up here in San Antonio. Well, up near our house. I don't live in San Antonio, but I live near San Antonio. And he drives his truck, and he was going to go to my sister's funeral today, and so he stopped and his truck and parked it in front of the house, and he asked me to borrow my Tacoma. Well, he asked my wife to borrow the Tacoma, and he did, and went and met his daughter's teachers, and took her to school and so forth, and and I called him to pick up tacos earlier. I go, never mind, I'm going to go ahead and make some. And so I call him back, and I hear on the phone, I go, call the cops. I heard him say that to his girlfriend, and she was on the phone. And I go, that only means one thing. He got into a wreck with my car. Not only did he get into a wreck with my car, it wasn't his fault, thank God. But it was, but the guy came after him. And my brother-in-law's, he's a pretty tough cookie, man. He freaking belted this guy across the nose and cracked his nose open and took a picture of him with a bloody nose. And so I wasn't really pissed about it or anything. I was just like, what the fuck, But, shit, stuff happens, And he, and this guy's, well, it was my fault. I tried, because he tried to go around him because he was yielding to traffic. And people get in a hurry around here when you go into San Antonio. And he was on the other side of the county line there inside San Antonio, because I'm right next to San Antonio. And and I told him, I go, man, you just don't, if you don't know how to drive in San Antonio during peak hours, man, you're asking for trouble. So here I'm going. Yeah, you just, so when people are in a hurry around here, you have to know how to drive in it, and that's just the bottom line. I don't even like driving in San Antonio. My wife, who works from home and has for a long time, and she wants to trade that in, dude. I mean, she makes almost $50K a year. I mean, and she would have to make like 58, 60,000 a year or 58 to $60,000 a year to make up what she loses driving to work, and she doesn't put makeup on every day, I mean, like she used to when she went into work. She didn't have to get her nails done. She does it on special occasions. She's saving a buttload of money, not having to drive to work. She's been doing that for like 8 years. And, you don't even have to deal with the headache of this traffic, And what happened to my brother-in-law is a good explanation why, or good reason why not to want to drive, but to work. So anyhow, we went to my sister's funeral, and we were the first ones there, and the hearse shows up, and I'm sitting there waiting for my sister's casket to get taken out of there, and then they go up, and she actually, considering everything that she went through with all this cancer and stuff, she actually looked kind of nice today. Actually, you know, they did a pretty good job. I mean, because after she died, she all brawled up. And it was bad. But today she kind of looked like she was peaceful and sleeping, and you know, wasn't too bad. You know what's weird though is when you know, I went and touched my sister's hand just to kind of touch her, you know, and yeah, they're just frigid. You just don't, you know, it's like you're never expecting that. Yeah, you know, and I mean, I really love my sister, and when I saw her, man, I just started crying, man. Had it not been for my dad dying, I mean, I just never experienced any kind of death like that, you know. But had it not been for my dad dying, going on 2 years, and then my uncle, this deal with my sister could have been a lot worse for me, like emotionally. But, you know, I guess it's kind of rough losing somebody lovely. But I really love my sister. She's just a sweetheart, and I never got mad at her growing up. I mean, you know, an adult. I mean, we fought like, you know, as kids, you know. You know, we did that kind of stuff like on almost a non-stop basis. But we were always stuck playing together, you know, and because we're 2 years apart, you know, and she's older than me, and so I don't know. It's just not. It's just, you know, it's sad to lose a loved one like this, you know. I mean, you know, these kids losing their mom at like 10 years old and stuff like that. But my niece and nephews, they eulogized her real nice, and overall the service was real nice. My brother-in-law and I, you know, after all the ceremony wrapped up, for some reason the guy, they didn't have the loader out there covering my sister up, and this guy was doing it by hand. And so we went out there and kind of helped him, and we really filled in the ground there kind of quick for him. You know, my brother-in-law's got a big heart, dude. I mean, if you would know some of the battles that he's had, I mean, you would not even expect him to do what he does. I mean, he's a really nice person. You know, he just has a big heart, and he loves his family. I mean, he really does. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about him. But, you know, because he's just not a bad person. Other than he got in a fist fight after he got in a wreck in my truck. But anyhow, the truck's not that bad. But we got out there and shoveled dirt on top of my sister, you know, lay her to rest. And, you know, she's gonna be at my dad's feet. And she's seeing Dad in heaven right now. That's what she wanted when she was sick. She was, God, I want Dad so bad. Now, I mean, I was kind of the black sheep of the family. And really, I mean, I have like siblings. But really, I mean, I love my dad and stuff. But my sister was probably the best out of everyone, you know, in my immediate family loving me back. And that's what I'm going to miss. Because she always said the right things to me. You know, she always did that. Said the right things, said the most beautiful things. And complimented me. And, you know, the rest of the family, They don't know how to turn on the heartstrings. My sister did, man. And she would say some of the sweetest stuff to a person. And I don't know how she did it. I've told y'all a little bit, my grandfather was murdered when I was like 6 or 7. In the news, and this is back in the 70s. And the news came over and, really harassed my mom about a story, because the trial went on for like 4 years, man. And, they didn't have the internet where it was like instant news and all that stuff. So the people actually had to go out and dig for news stories. And newspapers weren't nearly as thick as they had gotten at the dawn of the internet. Now I don't even know if people buy newspapers. I don't. So it was just kind of rough growing up. My mom was really beside herself. When my grandfather was murdered. And he wasn't a very good person. I mean, he was a World War II vet. And he had problems. He was in Pearl Harbor. And he helped clean it up. He survived Pearl Harbor and then went and fought in the Pacific. And so he just, I'm sure, raping and pillaging was the MO. Modus operandum or whatever, I don't know. When during battling, raping and pillaging, and I'm sure he did his share of it, because he came back kind of a creep, man, according to a lot of people. And I keep thinking I hear a train, but so he was rough on my mom in that aspect, and then the fact that he was murdered. And the reason he was murdered was because he lost his cool, and the person got charged because it wasn't really self-defense, because they could have walked away, right? But they opted to stab him in the heart, and but she ended up getting a really light sentence, and that was it. But it's all pretty stupid, man. So we ought to do what we can to and I've had my taste of war. I was a medic in the Army during Desert Storm and during Operation Just Cause, and so I've and then just a paramedic, at one time, and and it was during the when troops had come back. I mean, they got reckless. They didn't drink for like 8 or 9 months, being deployed, and then they'd come back to the United States and start partying and stuff. Oh, we're back, and then you start seeing all that carnage because of that. Or you see like jealous husbands coming back thinking that their wives were cheating on them because they're 8 months pregnant, the length of their deployment, so the night that, they got pregnant, come to find out. And I've seen my share of stuff, and seen suicides, and so, military, I guess it's necessary, but and it's a noble deed, but it comes with your share of chaos and stuff whenever you're around it. I mean, it's a hard life, man. And these people throw caution to the wind, in the military. And you see a lot of stuff you'd never think you'd see. But that's all I got. Y'all have a good day.